On this video, I'm going to elaborate on the various different messages I delivered here on YouTube in the last few days. If you've seen my videos in the last few days, you will have seen that I was reading a script and I was really going deep into the concepts that I often talk about. Concepts like I'm not a victim anymore. What can I do about my past victimhood status? How do I heal from it? And why is success on the other side of rejection? Etc. Because I was reading from a script, I want to sit here in a more relaxed manner whilst I talk about the various different points and the various different topics which I spoke about in the last few days. Before I do that, I want to just breathe in and breathe out. Why did I just do that? You must be wondering. What is that all about? I'll tell you what that's about. That's all about the idea of giving yourself a little bit of clarity. You could do that. If you find yourself in a trouble situation, you could breathe in, hold the breath, and breathe out. What that does is it gets your brain to find like a stop. It gets your brain to put a stop from what you were thinking about until now and to what you think about after you finish that very short meditation. It's a powerful method, I think. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the concept, the idea of victimhood. Like I said yesterday, I'm not talking here to a person who has not yet recovered from the trauma of being a victim. And again, I am not here to in any way exonerate bullies and to find any means of sympathy for what they do. What I do want to do is find sympathy for where they came from. Find sympathy and understanding for where they came from. Have you ever struggled with somebody in your life who told you that you're unworthy? Have you ever had somebody in your life tell you that you're unworthy? Have you ever had somebody who told you, you're not a very smart person, just let it go? Have you ever had that in your life? I've had it. And you know something? Today, I look back on those people and I say, that's their opinion. That's where they were in their journey. That's what they needed to do in their journey in order to get to where they needed to get. I'm glad they're not part of my life anymore, but I won't judge them because that's where they were in their journey. That was their limited understanding of me. That was their limited understanding of a person at my particular predicament, and that's the way they understood where I am, where I was, where I am going to be. That's their limited understanding. Are they God? Are they the universe? Do they know my entire story? No. They didn't know my entire story. They weren't there for most of my years. So why would I take quite literally what they said to me? And why would you take seriously anybody who tells you, oh, you're not smart. Oh, you're stupid. Oh, you just have no idea what you're talking about. You're delusional. Why would you take them seriously? Were they with you for the past X amount of years since you were born? Do they know how amazing you are? What amazing achievements you've had? No. They only know you, let's say. Okay, in my life, I've never really known people for many years, but most of the people who told me that I was stupid didn't know me very long. They knew me for a couple of years, and that was their assessment of me, and that was it. Why am I mentioning that? Because it's not really worth taking seriously. It's really worth neutralizing the situation and seeing their reality from a neutral perspective. It helps me, and I'm sure it'll help you as well to do that. I want to elaborate on the concept of being a past victim and recovering from that status. I mentioned yesterday the story of the person whose bike was stolen because they left the backyard gate open. What would that person likely do when they buy a brand new bike? They will most likely get a good lock, good chain for that lock, and put that bike in a safe place and lock the back door of the backyard. Do you think they would get a new bike, leave the back door open, and yell and scream, "Oh, I am a victim, and that bully has come along once again. I don't even know who he is. Or I do know who he is, and I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna yell at him. I'm gonna scream at him. But I can't touch him because I'm too scared of him." No. They wouldn't do that. They would protect their boundaries, they would fortify their boundaries, and they would hence go on to learn a good lesson about making sure the bike is really, really in a safe place overnight. Right? That's what they would do. Exact same thing exists with a past victim. Instead of going to a therapist for 25 years, paying that therapist thousands and thousands of dollars, why not gain your independence and remove yourself from that situation of dependency, fortify your boundaries, and get off the ground and progress and succeed? I've seen some past victims who just go on to support others in being victims and being dependent. Why would you do that? Wouldn't you rather just help a past victim to realize their boundaries and to know their boundaries? And why would you give somebody a hug or a empathy emoji on Facebook when they cry about the victimhood status? How would you help them? I can't really understand how you've helped them. Why don't you rather just teach them some great lessons which you've used in gaining track, in gaining amazing clarity in your recovered from victimhood status? Do that rather. Help somebody. Help others. Don't help others carry on that terrible cycle of being dependent. Don't do that. Don't ever make anybody be dependent. Nobody. Nobody should be dependent on anybody. And there's no such thing as I'm a victim for life because the most horrible things happen to me. You know, some people think that because they are on drugs and they fall into taking drugs, that's why they have acquired for themselves a terrible disease and they are bound to a terrible victimhood status. Thing is, that's not true. There's no such thing. Is no such thing as that is my status. You could get off the ground, you could get off that, and you can move forward. I actually don't think there's much difference between a past victim who's still dependent on others for support. That's like an addiction for them. And a person who's struggling with drugs, a cocaine addict, or somebody who smokes weed. I don't see the difference between, whatever kind of drug goodness smoke, right? Whatever it is, I don't see the difference between you, a person on drugs, and the past victim who's still clinging on to people and not finding their own independence. They're both the same. One is taking substances, and the other one is just hanging on to a status, to a means of attachment which they've attached to themselves. It's futile, and it's not going to help you. It'll get you nowhere. So you might as well learn the ropes. Ask those who've done it, like me and others, how you do it, how you gain self-validation from the deepest place from within, and gain track and build track and move forward and be over it. I also want to talk about the concept of not putting anybody on that pedestal. It's a challenge. It's a real challenge. It's a real challenge. Don't kid yourself. Every single day I face the challenge. I put other people on pedestals and I allow them to make themselves appear to be higher than me, or just the opposite. Like I put myself on a pedestal thinking that I'm better than them and I put them lower. Both of which is a problem. And it's not good to do. Not good to put anybody on a higher pedestal or on a lower pedestal. Because every single individual has qualities which you don't have. Every single individual has experiences in life which you don't have. You could either pretend it's not so and just climb on that ladder of getting on this pedestal, of gaining track and getting love and respect and people really admiring you, or you could get onto this amazing track of life, amazing track of spirituality, and learn from others and be a teacher for others. Today, I want to mention 9 different people whose amazing YouTube channels I've been visiting in the past few days. But before I do that, I want to just tell you that I've been visiting my own YouTube channel the last few days. Yeah, I've been looking at my own YouTube videos, and I'm quite inspired, actually. I think I've really, really impressed myself. I've really, really inspired myself, and I'm really proud of it. I've almost put out 500 videos already. I will not stop before I get to 10,000. Let me be as certain as I can about that. I will not stop. God willing, we'll get there. But I saw your amazing videos, and I want to mention your names. Let me get on to it now. I watched your video, Mike Basil. I watched a few of your videos. I was quite impressed, quite inspired. Ugolicious, I watched some of your videos. I was quite impressed with your positivity as well. Impressed and inspired. Sanni Victor, I've watched your YouTube videos. I am impressed and inspired. Thank you. Jakob Shwab, I've watched your videos. I really, really was touched and inspired. Vershon Charles, I really felt really positive watching your videos. Impressed and inspired. Positively positive. I've watched your videos too. You've inspired me. Bketo and Barbara Bketo and Karen, with a couple of numbers after that. I watch your videos, a lot of inspirational ideas and a lot of ideas which really touch my heart on a deep level. I want to say to you, thank you. I want to carry on and mention the fact that, yes, I do watch my own YouTube videos, and I want to tell you, they're not perfect. I look back on some videos and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was not perfect. Why did I say that? Why didn't I say that? And then I say to myself, Jessica, that's part of the journey. That's part of the journey. Rome wasn't built in a day. Just be who you are and don't think of anything you did in the past as stupid or imperfect. Just think of them as a rung on a ladder. I want to now talk about the amazing video which I watched today from Matt Kahn. He says as follows: when you could say thank you to your pain from the wisdom and understanding that it wasn't something stupid, you get off the ground and your weakness is now seen as an attribute that hasn't, your past weakness is now seen as an attribute which hadn't matured to its full capacity at that point in time. He also talks about the twin flame. I said I'm going to make this video nice and relaxed, and I'm going to carry on doing that now. Nat Khan talks about, I think it's Nat Khan, whatever. I think it's Nat Khan, actually. It's not whatever, because it's very important ideas he talks about. Matt Kahn talks about the concept of seeing anybody who pushed your buttons, anybody who rejected you, anybody who is your twin flame as a person who helped you get to who you are today, help you progress. Don't blame your ex. Don't look at your ex and say, if only I hadn't fallen into that relationship, if only I had listened to my intuition and I hadn't fallen into that relationship. Don't do that. Rather, learn from your past and acknowledge the amazing attributes you have today. You learn great lessons because your ex pushed your buttons, or because that person in your past pushed your buttons. Today, you're much stronger from within and nobody pushes your buttons. So that person helped you gain to where you gotta be today. That is not to forgive everybody, but that is not to excuse the bully. Absolutely not. Don't excuse the bully. Just find understanding and find what good things came out of that story. That's today's video. If you like today's video, press the like button and leave a comment in the comment section down below. I've been enjoying your great comments in the last few days. Thanks tons for your great thoughts, your great comments. They really, really touch my heart on a deep, deep level. Thank you, my dear, amazing subscribers and commenters. I love you so much. Please feel free to share this video with your grandmother. I often say grandmother. Whoever you like, not just your grandmother, whoever you like. Grandmother, grandfather, friends, co-workers, peers, neighbors, colleagues, whoever. Feel free to share away. I love you so much. Wishing you high vibes, high frequency. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. I love you.